This is Margaret Ann Windsor, Peggy Ann Childers, the name given me when I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. Both twins, Peggy and Carl, were dead. I found out about my kidnapping after I'd written a book on mind control and medical malpractice and had been filled full of antifreeze. Worked for the district attorney Simpson, put on the street everything that sick done to me. I entered the race to replace Larry McDonald, congressman doctor, that I'd written about when his plane went down August the 31st of 83. I was flown to Larry Flint, who had been shot in Lawrenceville. Now then, my Uncle George, Roosevelt, members of the New World Order, Rockefeller, Rothschilds, Henry Kissinger, you name it. Later, Henry Kissinger was a part of it, but the kidnapping was the Kennedys, Joe Kennedy, my own uncle, George the Sixth. This is the imposter. This is my father, the real King Edward the Eighth, who was married to my mom, Claudia O'Keefe Windsor, Claudia Ruth. She loved me. My dad loved me. And this is the cover-up. Now then, I'm going to go now, because this has been told, begged, shown, proof. I meant to get the birth certificate out, and I don't think I have it. One of them. Let me see if I do. I don't think I have it out. I've shown it to enough people. I've turned it over to everybody, and all I get is they'll lock me up. I don't see it, but it's been given to enough people. Everybody thought it was funny that you could kidnap a monarch, Victoria II, and do the horrific crimes to me. I'm 74 and a half years old, or 75. Now, this morning, any of this would have been easy enough to check out. So it's not that they disbelieved it. It's if this were made public and forced to be told, that the United States' credibility would plummet because they're a bunch of murdering killers. This morning on Facebook, I put the lineage of the Dempsey family. That's the name they give me, Peggy Ann. And I grew up being called bastard, being told I didn't have a father. This is my father, a very decent man. That's the reason they took him down. Now then, this is the Dempsey clan, where I was put in a pigsty. If anybody cares to see about the history of the Dempseys, you'd find out what kind of people they are. Emery Eugene Dempsey, who would be considered the grandfather, molested his daughters, raped them. So it was a horrible pigsty. Okay, here is the lineage. It was well, I had it written down. Let me see here. There was, I should be able to do this from memory, right? It was Emery Eugene Dempsey, the old grandpa. Was married to Lavinia Martis Dempsey. Was the grandmother. Their children was Arnis, who had been raped by her father. Then you had Lina, she's a murderer. She's a psychopath. Mother of the twins, Peggy and Carl, who she had killed both twins. So they gave me the name of the dead twin, Peggy. Okay, next in the family tree, as far as I know the age, is Tressie Dempsey Nix. She has offsprings. I don't know if they live in Moulton or not. You got Leslie Dempsey White Jones, offsprings there. Buell Dempsey Terry. She had twins. You got James Matthew Dempsey in the U.S. Army, the only man in the family, young man in the family, male. I remember when I was little, amidst the screaming and the horrific, horrible way I grew up, him coming in and screaming, "But you fed her to the pigs. But you fed her to the pigs." Next in there is Annie Gertrude Dempsey Carter. Mrs. Ezra Carter. And the last I knew of her, she lived in Carlisle, Kentucky. And thank God the cops in Carlisle, Kentucky, and Paris, Kentucky, were decent people, or I wouldn't be alive again today. Let me remind you, these people all went to church on Sunday, praised God, and praised the American flag. Clara Jean Dempsey Terry was the baby. The old man raped her, his youngest daughter. Now, I think I got them all in there. So any of this anybody could have checked out. How did I know it? I couldn't make it all up. Now then, I think I've said this. Lionel Dempsey would have. I wanted to skip here. Let me try to read it and keep it. Excuse me if all this being done to me doesn't strike a chord with the baby hope they've put on TV just now. Being found, her body and DNA and matched, and all that work that went into it. This morning I put this Dempsey genealogy on Facebook. 1985 Hustler magazine. I had that on me, the Hustler. It's some kind of support so they wouldn't try to lock me up and call me crazy. Use the mental health system. So while there, Annie, they had a farm, and she taught at Lexington Military Academy. They had a farm there in Carlisle. I told her with the Hustler, and I'd had a Hustler car at one time and drove by there earlier. And this time I was on foot with nowhere to go. I told them about knowing about my real name and being kidnapped. And here's what she said, and I'm leaving out all the other stuff they did. It was scary. And that's where one day I hope to thank the sheriff of Carlisle and the police there. She said, this is Annie Gertrude Carter, taught at Lexington. She has a daughter, by the way, Gwendolyn, who's married to a preacher there in Lexington. She said that they always knew. They were told by their mother, Lavinia Dempsey, about the killings. So in other words, they were sworn to secrecy, not to tell it, because Lina, the mother of the twins, and the one I grew up being told that was my mother, the sick bitch psychopath, would be found guilty of murder and gassed by the state of Alabama. Now then, the laws that have been broken against me on a daily basis, and the people who were more than willing to get into it because they could. It would shock the world. I lived it. I know. I'm still living it. So I don't know. That I'm going to let it go with that. Anybody could have done DNA. Where's Elizabeth? Well, she's right here with pretty clothes and all, you know. So where was my rights? Trampled on?